Hi, I'm Tamara with Wyoming Dutch Oven Cooking. Welcome to our channel today. We're doing something wonderful today inside in my Enamel Dutch oven that I love to use, and we'll be baking this in the oven. And if you watch any of our videos, we do a lot of artisan breads, which artisan breads, you can just do so many things with them, and they are so wonderful. And guess what we're doing today? This is really a great one. It is jalapeno with sharp cheddar cheese. I've got ahead and measured my dry ingredients, which is flour, salt, yeast, a little bit of sugar, and I've mixed this real well in my mixing bowl here. You want to mix this real well. And the next thing I'm going to add to this is my finely diced jalapeno peppers. And if you've ever done jalapeno peppers, what's important is to make sure you get all the membranes and seeds out, and because it just cuts back on the heat. If you don't, you just have a lot more heat. And then when you're done with all of that, you need to wash your hands really well, because they do have a little fire to them and they can burn your skin. Some people like to use rubber gloves, but I don't. I just like to, wash my hands real well when I'm done. And then I have a cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese, and I really like to use the sharp cheddar cheese. Of course, our favorite cheese of all is Tillamook, but you use whatever you like to use. Go ahead and put that in there. And I'm just going to mix this real well, and then I'm going to add my 1.5 cups of warm water and 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, that's mixed real well. Now this dough will be sticky. And then we're going to let this rise in this bowl for about 1.5 hours. And then we will put it out on a floured surface and shape it into a nice round ball. And the last rising, we will go ahead and put into our Enamel Dutch oven. And I say about 1.5 hours. It just kind of depends on how warm your house is. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. You just kind of have to keep an eye on it. Okay, well, this is nicely mixed. We're going to let this rise, and then we'll see you in a little bit to go on to the next step. Well, our dough doubled in size, as you can see, and it did take about an hour and a half. Like I told you, this dough is kind of sticky. I prepared my wooden cutting board. I put some flour on top. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my dough out on that. And I'm going to knead this probably 6 to 8 times. Just kind of work it just a bit. You don't want to overwork it. You don't have to with this type of bread. Of course, my cutting board wants to kind of run around here, but that's all right. Like I was telling you with our artisan breads, I have several of them. And if you subscribe and go to our channel, it alerts you that every Tuesday we have another wonderful fun video coming out. And of course, we have a lot of artisan breads. But if you check out our channel and look at all of our recipes, oh my goodness, we have a lot going on. But we would love it if you would subscribe, hit that like button, and leave a comment. Oh my goodness, we would love that. But as you can see, I'm just kind of working some of those peppers in. They kind of want to fall out. Oh, this is going to be wonderful. And what we're going to do is, I've got this in a nice little round ball. I'm going to brush off any excess flour. Of course, I'm brushing out some of those wonderful little peppers want to pop out. And I have a very sharp knife here that I'm going to just score the top of it with and just kind of put an X. And then as this rises, it just kind of helps that crust to be nice and yummy. And I'm going to put this in our Enamel Dutch oven, which I love this, and we've lined it with parchment paper. I'm going to go ahead and just place that in there. And what is great, why we line it with parchment paper, this is just a fun tip, is when it's done, you can just lift it out by that parchment paper and put it on your cooling rack. And then, of course, your Dutch oven stays nice and clean. And so once again, we're going to let this raise for about an hour and a half. And then we're going to bake it. I'll tell you the temperature and everything, how we're going to bake it. As you can see, this bread doubled in size and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm ready to bake it. And when I bake it, I put the lid on it, right here, the lid on it. And we bake it at 400 for 30 minutes, take the lid off, bake it for another 10 minutes, and that gives it that beautiful golden brown. Okay, and if I miss anything as we were going over this today, the recipe is in the description below. So if you go to that, you can get everything that I put into this, cooking temperatures and everything. So we'll see you in about 30 minutes when it's all done. Oh boy, did it get done, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to go ahead and very carefully lift this out by the parchment paper. Look at this. Now this is like a perfect loaf of bread. Now if you want to add more calories to this, you can brush it with some melted butter, but we're not going to tonight because our calories are going to be, we're going to have steak on our Traeger barbecue and salad and this wonderful bread. And I want to thank all of our subscribers. My goodness, we have a lot of wonderful subscribers that leave wonderful comments that kind of spur us on and help us and just give us some encouragement to continue on with this, because we truly do love Dutch oven cooking. Not only Dutch oven cooking, we do all kinds of stuff with cast iron. And like I have said in our other videos and talking with you, that a lot of our cast iron is very, very old cast iron. It is from my folks, from my ranch that I grew up on. But whatever you prefer to use, there's a lot of really new, neat stuff going on nowadays. And of course, our motto is great food shared with family and friends. Until we meet again, thank you.